The history of the city of San Fernando. The city of San Fernando is the first city created in the province of La Union by virtue of Republic Act 8509, sponsored by the Congressman Victor F. Ortega in the House of Representatives, signed by President Fidel V. Ramos on February 13, 1998. The city of San Fernando is situated in the mountainous area at almost mid-section of La Union along the Sina Sea. It was founded in 1786 and made the cabecera, the provincial capital, on the same day that La Union became province in 1850. In 1759, a priest named Father Jose Torres convinced two settlements to come together to a place not so near the sea and not so near the mountains, so they will not be plagued by other annual problems. They choose the area called Pindangan, meaning a place where they dry fish. In this place, they built a church with San Guillermo the Hermit as a patron saint. In 1765, the newly assigned priest, however, suggested to the inhabitants that they change the name of Pindangan to San Fernando after the Catholic King of Spain, retaining San Guillermo as their patron saint. The name of the parish priest was Father Fernando Rey being the Spanish word for king. This was also the time of Tiago Silang, and as we know, Silang would travel to and from Manila on his white horse and was killed on May 28, 1763, when an earthquake destroyed the church at Pindangan, renamed San Fernando. The parish priest decided not to rebuild in the same place, because the rainy season the church would transfer until it found its present place, and it's now called the Cathedral of St. William the Hermit of the Diocese of the City of San Fernando, La Union. A climax came in 1896 when the country was swept by a widespread revolt. In 1898, the Spanish garrison in San Fernando was attacked by Filipino insurgents under the leadership of Manuel Tino and Mauro Ortiz. A democratic form of government took the place of that once proud despotic government of Spain. The people of San Fernando took advantage of all the Americans could teach politically and economically. San Fernando progressed with the rest of towns in the province. In 1941, the Japanese came. The Japanese plane bombed San Fernando. The guerrillas of the 21st Infantry became active and engaged a do-or-die battle against the Japanese Imperial forces. A bloody fight took place in Barrio Baxil until the town was liberated in 1945. The destruction of the property in the city of San Fernando was appalling. Only few houses remained standing, and it was once thriving town of nibbles of war. San Fernando rose until it became the administrative capital of Region 1.
The geography of City of San Fernando, La Union. The city of San Fernando is the capital of La Union. It is bounded by municipality of San Juan on the north, Bawang on the south, and Bagulin and Nagilian on the east. The coastal city consists of 59 barangays. It is the bustling commercial and administrative hub located in the geographical center of La Union. It serves as the gateway of trade and commerce to the north and the culture and heritage of Ilocanja.
It is Screech in Odeon Cinema. My grandmother used to tell stories that she knew when she was still a maiden. One of the most interesting stories she told me is about the story of Odeon Cinema. It was a very popular cinema located in the plaza of city of San Fernando. One day, she was in the market, the first market which is now called the Old Market. It was near the cinema. They saw the fire and ran to look after it. They believed a woman died inside the cinema. The ghost of the woman living in the cinema, guarding it, and sometimes you can hear screams or screech if surrounding is too loud. A lot of locals and tourists sometimes hear it too. The cause of fire, on the other hand, is unknown, which is a big question for the locals. The building is too old and not used at all after it was burned, and the locals said it was an eyesore which makes it a potential building to be demolished sooner or later.
Before, I have experienced seeing the White Lady. There was an event in the plaza and the owner of the Mana Mall was my mom's friend, so we always had tickets. It was 1 a.m., there was no tricycle, so we decided to walk, and when I was across the Fuji film, I looked up and saw the White Lady.
Personal information about Ojon, according to my grandmother. The cinema was burned down because the owner, Mr. Benson, had an affair to a unknown lady, and eventually the cinema faced bankruptcy. The death of Mr. Benson to the investors leads them to take revenge and burn down the Ojon cinema. Also, the first name of this cinema is Regent before it became Ojon.
The importance of the Odayon cinema for the people is their history with it, in which they all seek for entertainment before. Its history with them, the time they spent as a family, the memories they've made with the cinema, is what the people see when they passed by it. Thinking about it and telling a story about how once the Odeon gave them joy and brought them closer with their family members. We typically see some family inside a cinema, which spends time with each other after a long week, hoping for relaxation and laughter. The cinema was once a hit in city of San Fernando. As we go back in the time where it was still functional, it would be a lie if we say it didn't help people from passing their boredom. Today, as we stare at the Odeon, thinking about the possibilities and what ifs, like what if it wasn't been burned? Would it still be a hit until now? Would people come and watch in it still? Those questions can't be answered now because the Odeon cinema has become another piece of history that can't be brought back to life.
I've been to Pindangan ruins just recently. What I do appreciate is the antiquity and knowing the historicity of the ruins. Anyway, I was not there to assess the architectural beauty or design of it, nor I came for some artistic evaluation. Mine is to feel that the structure was once a living witness to the faith of the nice, friendly people of La Union. What I felt, the ruins were exactly what I felt when I saw the ruins of St. Paul's Church in Macau in the internet. The only difference is that the former is quiet, the latter is crowded.
According to history, the original name of the city of San Fernando La Union is Pindangan, which is an Ilocano word that refers to a place where the meat is sun-dried. The said ruin was named Pindangan because people used to make their sun-dried meats as a way of preservation.